Down US 24 in Providence.
Oh, shit.
That white area, also in Bowling Green, perhaps some small hail developing there.
Hammered.
But these storms have lightning, winds up to or over 60 miles per hour possible. Very, very heavy rain, and still watching. Thankfully, the rotation has not made its way to the base of the clouds just yet. We're seeing a bit above the ground. But
just let them get by, let them get through the area, and just stay as safe as you can.
Yeah, do you want to mention too, I just got rid of it on the map for simplicity, but there is a severe thunderstorm watch until 7 p.m. for much of the area. That too may be expiring or canceled, and then we're watching to the west. I know we have active weather going on, but this is what we showed you the last 24 hours when it's like, normally it rains, the atmosphere kind of gets washed over and worked over, but this is a unique situation. We are still watching what's developing in western Michigan and over parts of Lake Michigan. That's going to be round 2 developing, and that may start moving more to the southeast behind this first severe batch. So I know it's a first alert weather day, we have severe weather going on, but there may be a break between the two. You want to stay tuned, stay weather aware right through about midnight as an additional watch could be issued, and those cells are now just developing even in the wake of what's going on right now.
Yeah, what we have going on, we have a warm front lifting through the area. That's where this first line of storms is riding right along and what we're watching so closely. But then it's the cold front coming in on the backside, that albeit a weak one, but it's going to spark up those storms. And just looking at some of the model data we have coming in right now off screen, these storms really, the second round later this evening, getting towards 9, 10, 11 o'clock, look like they may pack a punch. So this is round 1. We may have just a strong round 2 coming in later today.
All right, just getting a note from Dan Smith. Dan Smith and Aaron Ashley are also broadcasting. They just lost their Facebook signal. They'll be back up shortly. So if you folks are looking for that coverage on Facebook, they're going to be back on momentarily. Search for 13ABC. I believe we're still on 13abc.com. So if you lose your power, if you lose your signal, I know some folks have satellite television and this rain. This is the kind of rain that can make that signal disappear. Just hop over to our website. Hopefully you still have cell coverage on your phone, and that way you can get our coverage live. It'll be Dan and Aaron broadcasting from our OTT desk, and they're going to update you that way. But again, we have severe thunderstorm warnings, Lucas and Wood till 3:45, Monroe County till 4, Ottawa County till 4:30. Main threat with these storms, heavy rain, we got lots of lightning, and those winds possibly up near or above 60 miles per hour.
And these storms, they have a history of producing wind damage. You go back across northern Indiana, we were getting damage reports as they're approaching the area, and since they've moved in. Parts of Fulton County, we had reports of some trees down. So certainly the potential within these storms, within the deepest reds of the cells there, to really sort of bring us those strong winds. Watch that little cell here right now tracking through the southern part of Monroe County, heading from Monroe itself, that fast forward speed. Part of the reason we're seeing this extenuated wind threat with these storms, and we're also watching very closely in this line for any little notch that can form, any little brief rotation. We've been seeing elevated rotation at times, but thankfully so far no evidence that any of it has reached the surface, just severe thunderstorm warnings for the time being.
Correct, and we're watching some of the heaviest rain move right over downtown Toledo. Got perhaps a little bit of hail trying to form where you see that white area, Perrysburg, the Maumee area up to about the Turnpike, and there's a live look. You can see that the rain has increased at our North Toledo Action Campsites. That's near the Jeep plant, near the 280 split. Folks going southbound, going left, they're crawling. A little semi there is starting to slow down. And then we also have some of that the folks in the northbound lanes going to the right. That area there, it's also slow, but moving at this time.
I mean, the rain like this reduces visibility very fast, not just from how hard it's falling, but to spray the vehicles ahead of you. So if you must be out in the storms during this, really, you're just going to want to take it easy. But looking at radar right now, southern part of Lucas, northern part of Wood County, the heaviest rain right now falling along the Maumee River, Perrysburg, Maumee, Waterville, Holland, Walbridge, heading towards western Ottawa County, eastern Wood County, that torrential rainfall falling right now. We're going to be in just a moment.
All right, so let's update what's going on right now. We do have those severe thunderstorm warnings till 3:45. That's for Lucas County. And Lucas County, we're seeing that the worst of it right now move right over parts of West Toledo. We're here at the station. So if you can wait this out, there is another line forming, but right now the worst of it is just approaching I-75 in Wood County, over I-75 in Lucas County, and over I-75 in Monroe County. Now we have the secondary cell, actually it was kind of formed after the line, but an individual cell right there prompted a new severe thunderstorm warning for Ottawa County. So you had that first batch. Now you have this line approaching. So that warning, Derek, is that till 4:30 for Ottawa County?
Ottawa County goes until 4:30 p.m. and that main threat, 60 mile per hour winds.
Okay, so 4:30 main threat, 60 mile per hour winds. Lucas and Wood till 3:45. I believe Monroe is until 4. But all these are for the straight line winds and just the weather. You don't want to be outside. Derek mentioned lightning in and of itself, a dangerous thing. You don't want to be anywhere outside. Inside's the safest place to be. But these are moving to the east. Between 40 and 50 miles per hour. This batch now moving over Lake Erie, but this line is holding together, and ahead of it, we have that intense wind. We are seeing some power outages throughout northwest Ohio, southeast Michigan with these winds, perhaps knocking branches down, trees down, power poles down, and still some elevated rotation. So we're going to watch this for any kind of little notch, any kind of hail that's developing, which we do see a little bit right here. If you could zoom in, Derek, to the Monmouth area, Rossford area for me. There you go. So we're not hearing it here at the station just yet, but from Perrysburg to downtown, East Toledo, Rossford, to maybe parts of West Toledo. That color indicates with our radar, it's seeing hail in that storm. No word from the Weather Service. They're seeing it too, but it's staying below severe limits. But that could be an additional threat if you have something outside, but it's too late to go out there. Okay, if your car is parked outside right now, we do not advise you go out and move anything. Stay inside. This will be over in about 15, 20 minutes in Toledo, Perrysburg, Haskins, Tentagony, also a little cell that may contain some hail moving your way. And then near north of Bowling Green, you see this white area just north of US 6, I-75. So gosh, if you're driving up I-70 now, I-75 from North Baltimore through Bowling Green up into the Perrysburg area and then Toledo, that is not a good time to travel. As you can see, that weather is really rough at this point. Again, severe thunderstorm warnings. We have Lucas and Wood until 3:45, Monroe till 4, Ottawa till 4:30 p.m.
Yeah, and some of the community by community forecasts here, this line, it's moving east. Or east-northeast very quickly, about 40 to 50 miles per hour. Woodville, 3:46 p.m. So that's coming up in just 7 minutes from now. Harris Township at 3:53, Benton Township at 3:58, Carroll Township at 4:07, Port Clinton 4:21, Catawba, Danbury getting closer to 4:30. And Jay, you said you got an update here.
New warning just came in. We now have Sandusky and Seneca counties, a severe thunderstorm warning until 4:30 p.m. Main threat, like we've had with the rest of these cells, is winds near or above 60 miles per hour. So those storms are still moving to the east at about 40 to 50 miles per hour. This may contain some smaller hail, but the main threat, like we've seen here, as we zoom out and show you that actual warning, we'll clear that. And there's the new warning. So pretty much, let me turn the lightning tracker back on and get reports here from Flower Hospital as well, of at least a flash or two on the power circuits there. So this is a very powerful storm with a lot of electricity. It could be a lightning strike on a power pole, it could be a wind, but look at that. That's one of the reasons I turned off the lightning tracker. It pretty much covers up the radar data when you look at the intense lightning moving through. But to reiterate, we have warnings for Lucas and Wood until 3:45, severe thunderstorm warnings. We have Monroe County till 4, Ottawa till 4:30, Sandusky and Seneca also until 4:30, and very heavy rain. So flooding, flash flooding could be an issue when it comes to the storms as they do continue to race through northwest Ohio. And we've been mentioning this, Derek, that this is just round one, perhaps.
Yes.
Round two. If you're just joining us on 13 ABC, we're interrupting programming for severe weather coverage. Still watching that second batch. We talked about the severe thunderstorm watch for our western counties. So that would include, I believe, Fulton, Williams, Henry, and Defiance. That severe thunderstorm watch has been canceled. Looks like here a spotter 3 miles east-southeast of Toledo, a telephone pole halfway down, live line across the road with 60 mile per hour winds. So that's near the Toledo area, but perhaps a power or telephone pole down, halfway down, instead of the mark.
And another report of poles and wires down in downtown Toledo as well. That was at 3:20. That was when that was observed, but just now that information coming in. And also, I mean, just to emphasize how this really goes back where these storms came through. Another report out of Williams County saying a picture on Twitter showing tree limbs and a large tree down in Edgerton there. That's near the intersection of Michigan Avenue and Gassard. So all the way from Williams through Fulton now into Lucas County, we have seen wind damage reports with these storms as they've been racing through our area. Northeast at about 40 to 50 miles per hour.
All right, and also I believe our weather team is back up on Facebook and our website. So if you do lose power, which we're hearing is a definite possibility this evening and this afternoon, head over to our Facebook page, search for 13ABC, or our website, 13abc.com, hit the streaming button, and you can Watch coverage from 1. You're safe. So there you go. So that is lined up to be a nice straight line wind event. Again, the rotation's kind of dissipated, but where you see that green turn to blue as it moves off to the east, 40, 45 miles per hour.
Yeah, that line just really surging forward. We talk about those bow echoes, that where it's sort of bowing away from the front of the storm here. Watch it loop in, and you see it really accelerate eastward. So sort of coming from due west is where those strongest winds are. And at this time, looks like moving into Oak Harbor there, eastern part of Ottawa County. Now maybe just through eastern Lucas County, but still the severe thunderstorm warnings for Lucas, Wood, Ottawa, Sandusky, and Seneca counties goes through 4:30 p.m.
All right, and in from our newsroom here, the 911 center in downtown Toledo called. They asked to remind viewers to please not call them for just a downed tree or power line, but call Toledo Edison when it comes to that. And of course, stay away from any downed trees or power lines. Have to assume that they are active and live. But again, 911, reserve that for emergencies because they apparently are getting a lot of calls right now with these storms rolling through and impacting many thousands of people. But we're looking here at the storms over parts of Lucas County, still Monroe County. Again, you've been cleared from that severe thunderstorm warning, but we do have the ongoing warning for most of Lucas County, and that goes until 4 p.m. today. We have Ottawa till 4:30, and then Sandusky and Seneca also until 4:30 p.m. tonight. So let's put a track on this for you. We're going to zoom out a little bit and see what's going on with that main gust of wind, kind of in two parts. So we'll put a first part here, the storm track, on the part impacting the Islands area, which it's getting very close to right now, and that goes back just west of Port Clinton. So as that races to the east, you've got here, you've got Middle Bass, East Point at 356. You've got Put-in Bay itself at 356, same time. Catawba Island, 406, and the Kelly's Island Landfield, 409, and Marblehead at 4:17 p.m. So that's the northern edge of that. We'll take you now down to the southern edge from the lakeshore, west of Fremont to the county line, so just about in that warned area. Here we go with it moving to the east-southeast. It'll be near Fremont, 407, Clyde, 419, Margaretta, 423, Sandusky, 429, and then Huron, which is out of the warned area, you're going to be at around 442. But we are interrupting programming here on 13 ABC to give you folks an idea of what's going on with the severe weather. Looking for that severe weather coverage as the storms fired up today. Severe thunderstorm watches were issued, warnings were issued, and these storms are moving to the east at about 40 to 50 miles per hour. So we've got current warnings: Lucas, Wood until 4 p.m., Ottawa till 4:30, and then Sandusky and Seneca counties till 4:30 as well. Main threat with these, as that first line moves through, damaging straight line winds could be near or above 60 miles per hour, but the storms are holding together. So we're going to stay with you here all the way through 4 p.m. Our broadcast is supposed to begin in 4 minutes. Okay, but we'll see. We're going to kind of join that in progress as we continue tracking this. We're watching here. Findlay, you're looking pretty good. That cell developing just to your east will miss. Bowling Green, conditions soon to improve. You're still seeing the rain, a couple lightning strikes, but the worst is now east of I-75. We zoom to the north. Looks like also I-75, a good divider. You look down here, Maumee, Perrysburg. The worst is now east of I-75, Rossford area near the casino. Going to downtown, you're on the back edge of that cell. Up to Point Place, you're on the edge of the cell, and there's Monroe County. The reason they dropped that warning, this is the shoreline. Monroe County, as we go north, looking much better. But the storms do continue for eastern Lucas, for parts of Ottawa, eastern Wood County. We've got western Sandusky County, also western. We have so much going on this map. You've got air quality alerts, you've got heat advisories in that pink area, but the most important thing right now, Dan, is that the severe thunderstorm warnings continue from pretty much Toledo and Bowling Green to the east into Ottawa, Sandusky, and Seneca counties. And you can see on your screen right now, those go through 4:30 p.m.
So the active warning certainly has already been an active afternoon out here. I know Derek Witt was here. He has now swapped places with me. I was with meteorologist Aaron Ashley live on our OTT desk, live on Facebook, on our web stream. So we've got wall-to-wall coverage on this one, folks. We've got 4 of our 5 nets in, and Ross Ellett never sleeps, so I'm sure he's up watching this as well, too.
Yep.
So again, thank you everybody
everybody for tuning in. We have those 6 active warnings right now, just coming through just about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I know this is a little bit ahead of our initial window, but we always had this potential where we were going to have this zipper effect. It's remarkable how this has held together going through, and very impressive velocity on the lake here too. I know we were looking at this as well.
Yep.
Hopefully that's not too much of a concern for, let's say, the Lake Erie Islands and what have you, but just with those 6 warnings that we have had at the moment, that was for 60-mile-an-hour winds.
Put-in Bay, Middle Bass Island, North Bass Island. Get to your safe spot. Take your cell phone. We'll be broadcasting on Facebook and 13abc.com. But let's take a look at that cell, because this has just become a very dangerous situation.
And they're saying moving east at 65 miles an hour. Certainly this has been chugging along at a fair clip, but honestly this could have a little bit of a northeast component too, trying to race on along the side here. But look at that velocity. We're looking at those brighter components on this one approaching Put-in Bay. So even outside of any potential tornadic activity, you would have a sizable wind threat out ahead of this one. But still trying to get in some of the velocity on this. And it looks like those tighter and brighter colors that we've been looking for, a little bit harder to come by just based on what we're seeing here. It depends on what radar we're looking at, but Jay's going to put a track on that. And certainly you can see it's practically right on top of Put-in Bay at the moment.
Correct, yeah. I mean, this says 2 minutes, but it could be right overhead Marblehead Peninsula. You're close enough to this tight rotation that it is time to take cover the farthest in and as far down as you can get in your building. Is the safest place to go. Again, we now have an active tornado warning. This is for officially Erie and Ottawa counties, but pretty much near the Put-in Bay area. And this goes until, the timing on this, until, we have until 4:45 p.m. So a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Put-in Bay, moving to the east again, 55 to 65 miles per hour. So far, this is radar indicated. We have no confirmation from the ground or from the Weather Service, but what you want to do is get as far in and as far down in your building. If you live anywhere near the islands, including Kelly's Island, we advise you you preempt this warning and take cover immediately. Anything new, Dan?
Just trying to bring up, at least for my edification, some of the cameras here looking at Put-in Bay, so just seeing if we can find any rotation directly in this. It's hard to on our radar itself. It's just kind of in between Detroit and Cleveland's radar, but again, that line really gaining some consistency out towards the Indiana state line. It's been chugging all the way through. Now, almost fully cleared east of 75, but again, that tornado warning for Put-in Bay just before we went on at the 4 o'clock hour here. We had continued coverage here live on 13 ABC. You could see that spin up, you could see that velocity, and that was where we were most concerned about a spin up. And yes, that has indeed been approaching Put-in Bay and the Bass Islands for the last several minutes now. So if you do live
not want to be on top of that tower right now.
Bass Island, Middle Bass Island, seek shelter
No
immediately.
way,
It's that
Jose.
lowest, centermost part of your house if possible, away from any windows and outward facing walls.
Correct, and I'm going to take off the radar here so we can see this warning pop up for the watches and warnings. So there's the official warning. You can see where it is when it comes to the Weather Service. So it just clips Catawba Island, pretty much near north of Kelly's Island into the Bass Islands area, and then again goes until 4:45 p.m. So 4:45 p.m. for that tornado warning, which is quite a long one. It may be east of much of this area by that point, but the idea is to take cover immediately, get to the lowest and most centermost part of your house, if you can, or building. Get away from windows. Take your cell phone with you. Hopefully you have a kit that is ready to go when it comes to that severe weather. So we're getting some video right now from, I believe, Miller Ferries.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, we're getting that, and hopefully this is a remote camera. Hopefully no one's outside. I see folks running on the dock at this point. Take shelter. If you folks are hearing me, if you're near any of those marinas, if you're near any of those ferry services, please spread the word that these folks need to be taking cover immediately. This is a cell that we're watching carefully over the water. Let me turn the radar back on. But this is a tornado warning till 4:45. It includes the northern part of the Marblehead Peninsula, so just about near and north of Catawba Island. It's right where the ferry service is. So we'll zoom in a little bit. There's the Catawba Island area. I know it's Gem Beach. You're not officially in it, but I know there's some folks down there that have boats, so take cover. Kelly's Island, you're in a severe thunderstorm warning, but close enough to include yourself in this tornado warning. And then there's Put-in Bay with South Bass Island, Middle Bass Island, and North Bass Island. The storm is tracking to the east at about 50 to 65 miles per hour. Depends which radar we look at on that. But we're going to put the radar back up for you and zoom in a little bit and put it in motion. And we'll let you know where the storm is now, where it's going. This line does extend down to the Tiffin area. We talked about Tiffin under a severe thunderstorm warning. Finally seeing some lightning strikes there, so get inside. Fremont, gust of wind just approaching the area right now. And then we also have from Port Clinton to Put-in-Bay, that's the area of rotation. So we are watching that pretty much move over the island. Put-in-Bay area, I would estimate the rotating area is right over South Bass Island. And it is moving off to the east, perhaps to the northeast. But Kelly's Island, you're going to be close enough where I would get to the safe spot. If you have family or friends vacationing there this week, family or friends that live there, acquaintances, co-workers, anywhere near the islands or the northern part of the Marblehead Peninsula, we advise that you text them, call them, somehow get in contact with them, because this is an active tornado warning moving through.
And back in the booth, if you were able to take that, would that be REM 11? REM 2 back here. We've got the Miller Ferry camera online here to see if you can maybe pop that up sort of on our camera here. But that's what we're looking at for sort of the Put-in-Bay area where this tornado warning is active right now. Again, that is for till 4:45 p.m. so we can get that camera up. We are staying on for that tornado warning, of course, just on air and online. Meteorologist Derek Witt and Aaron Ashley are live at the OTT desk right now, as they have been for the past.
Bark's worse than the bite.
For the past couple of hours at least. Jay, any updates there?
Updates. Here's the live look. Okay, this is the Miller Boat Line live look, and you can see the visibility is very, very low. Look at the flags on that boat on the left side there as it's flapping away. So we've got some gusty winds. Even that higher flag, if you look at the middle of your screen, that gives you an indication of how gusty the winds are. The camera's now shaking. The boats are hopefully tied up tightly. The boaters do a great job, because this is the danger view. As we go into the next couple of hours, we have multiple warnings in effect. Officially severe thunderstorm watch until 7 p.m. That could be canceled just a bit early. But on that radar screen, we are looking at the storms from about Fremont up to the middle of Ottawa County to just west of Port Clinton, and then over toward the islands area. So there you go. So if you live on Kelly's Island, South Bass Island, Middle Bass Island, North Bass Island, or the northern edge of the Marblehead Peninsula, like Catawba Island, we advise you take cover immediately. Now the storms are extending back to the west. These are straight line winds that may be impacting the rest of Ottawa County and Sandusky County up to 60 miles per hour. But the newest warning that just came out at 4 o'clock, we were on at 3:59 saying we're watching this rotating cell west of Put-in-Bay. The warning popped up, and we've been on for the last hour, hour and a half, if not longer, on 13 ABC. Also, you've got Derek and Aaron streaming live. It's on Facebook. It's also on 13abc.com. So if you unfortunately lose power, or if you're in your safe spot and you can't hear the TV, or your TV is not on, check out those two sources as we stream the information to you as these storms have moved through. So we're going to zoom out a little bit. This morning, you see this yellow or orange box pop up. Officially does include the Tiffin area, and that cell near Fostoria is increasing in intensity. So in the southern flank of this, we're seeing this area down here become a little stronger, and I'll have to watch that for a little rotation too. But right now, Dan, that still wins.
Yes, a couple updates here that we're keeping a close eye on. Winds up to 60 miles an hour. You've got, I believe, the Seneca County Fair down there in Tiffin. That's probably going to be on top of you within the next 10 to 15 minutes. So it's going to be a close call, but keep an eye on that one. And now with the severe thunderstorm warning for Ottawa County, we're calling for 70-mile-an-hour winds now. Again, that is radar indicated. The potential for hail up to an inch. Hail really has not been a bigger threat here. It has been those straight line winds between 60 to 70 miles per hour. That is for Ottawa County. But the reason really that we are staying on air here and online as well, that Put-in-Bay tornado warning for Middle and South Bass Islands. You can see it there, just sort of highlighted in red.
All right, Dan, let's go over the warnings, because we have some good news in Lucas County and Wood County. That warning expired at 4 p.m. as that additional tornado warning popped up. So Lucas and Wood counties, you are now, for now, in the clear. Okay, for the next short term, we have that second wave trying to form back in Michigan. Let's get through the here and now, though. So Lucas, Wood counties, a chance to take a breath, kind of let things